What is good, guys? It is Reed and welcome back to another video. Today we got performance breakdown episode 7, I think. This is going to be me breaking down the street magic video called "We Called a Complete Stranger and This Happened." This is a great video. It's from some street magic I did last summer in Ottawa where I was living at the time, and great group. I did like 7, 8 different groups. I filmed for like 4 hours, made like 4 or 5, I think 5 or 6 actually different videos. You can go check them all out. I'll link them up in the cards. But this is going to be the first video that I ever dropped from that shoot. There's some great effects in here. There's a ton of info about Triumph, my go-to opener, which is Unshuffling the Colors. You're going to see a performance of Diverter by Mark Kirstein. You're going to see a performance of Earworm by Mark Kirstein. You're going to see so much great card magic and mentalism material, and you get a ton of great tips. I talk about dealing with people who are not as focused, maybe had a bit to drink, some heckler types. I talk about the important moments and how to take your Triumph to the next level. And then I talk about dealing with phone magic and apps and mentalism and all that stuff. So this is going to be a great video. This will probably be part 1, and there will be part 2 of this breakdown coming soon. So I hope you guys enjoy it. As always, if you would like to check out the merch, this is not the merch. This is the merch. If you'd like to check out the merch, you can. We got hats, hoodies, shirts. I talk about the shirt with the built-in magic trick, an effect completely contained within a shirt. It's called the Show Me a Trick tee, available now on my website. Amazing 3-phase, hilarious, but also potentially amazing routine built into the shirt. And as always, if you'd like to check out some private lessons, I've had a ton of great lessons lately with a bunch of you guys, some brand new faces, and it's been absolutely amazing. So if you'd like to check out some private lessons, you can at the link below. And as always, if you like this type of videos, don't forget to like, comment, share, all that good stuff. And without any further ado, let's jump right into the breakdown.
I love it.
Awesome, you guys are killing it. All right, here's what we'll do. You take some. So this first group, this was a group where actually the shirt I'm wearing, so if you guys don't know, that is the Show Me a Trick tee. It's available on my website. You can check it out at the link in the description. Basically, there's a 3-phase routine built into this shirt. So on the back of the shirt, it says "Ask to see a magic trick." Now, that's actually so great when I'm performing street magic. I love it. I wear this shirt every time because a lot of people just inquire, right, and break the ice, and I don't even have to do anything. I have no problem approaching, but if you're someone who does, you'll be amazed at how many people just ask, because you have these big white letters on the back of your shirt that say "Ask to see a magic trick." It's got my logo on the front, and then it's got, as you can see, it says "Your Card" on this sleeve, and that's part of the second phase of the routine. So the first phase, you kind of get into it where someone says, "Hey, can I see a magic trick?" right? Or what do you do? Can you show me something? Because they see on the back of your shirt it says "Ask to see a magic trick." And once they do that, you can actually go right into the first phase. You say, "Do you want to see a magic trick? You're sure?" And then there's a bit of a gag joke as the first phase. And then the second phase, you're like, "Okay, I'm just kidding. Let me show you for real." And then you can do the second phase, which is another kind of joke. And then the third phase can either be, this whole routine can be played off as like a funny joke, great little icebreaker routine, and you can finish that way. Or, I'd say about 50, maybe 75% of the time, depending on their responses, you can actually get an incredible hit that is absolutely amazing, a predicted card printed on your shirt that they freely name any card they want. So if you'd like to check that out, you can at the link below. I know there's a little ad, but it's a really great shirt, and I honestly love wearing it, especially when I perform, and it's so much fun. If you want to see the full routine, I'll put one up here in the cards. I'll be honest, I do not like this performance very much. It's not the best performance, but it's just the one I have of it on video. But it is a great effect, and just so you can kind of see what it looks like. Anyway, this here, I think this is a Triumph that I do. This is my Triumph, my handling on Triumph. I haven't taught it here yet, but it is really strong. It's amazing, as you'll see, because they can actually do all the shuffling. And let's just see what we get from this.
Oh wow.
Here, you take some too.
That's awesome that you're just a magician.
Do you guys like chaos or order?
Chaos.
Chaos, okay. So I actually ask this here, and this is something I like to do. My 2 opening routines are Triumph and Unshuffling the Colors. And one, Triumph, is more chaotic, and the other one is more order. And the great thing is they play off each other. So no matter what they answer here, I'm going to probably show them both tricks because they're great and they're my, my go-tos. But it just changes the order which one I do first. They said they like chaos, so fine, I'll show them Triumph first, and then we have this kind of beautiful segue where we go into Unshuffling the Colors after. Now here it's important, a couple of tips, like get everyone involved. You see how I give everyone some cards to shuffle, even though it doesn't matter, doesn't change anything. It just gives them a sense and gets them all more intrigued in the trick. chaos. So start flipping your cards face up and face down. Mix them up, face up. And, yeah. Another tip, I like to keep a little bit of cards, a small packet whenever I do Triumph, because when I say that line, mix the cards face up and face down, a lot of people aren't exactly sure what I mean, and even if they do get it, they're like, wait, really? You want me to actually like flip them, right? So if you do it, you can actually show exactly what you want them to do, and there's no confusion, and you know, you get that sort of great moment where you're all shuffling the cards face up and face down, which is one of my favorite moments of this trick.
They're mixed up though.
Yeah, so look. Now if it was a table, I would recommend you just throw all the cards on the table, make, you know, really chaotic. Obviously we're in the hand, so I don't really want them throwing them on the floor, though that's an interesting idea. It's important here, the first moment, what I'm about to do is just go through the cards and I really need to get it in their mind that the cards are mixed face up and face down. Where I think Triumph can suffer is when people don't put enough focus on this opening moment, right? They don't hammer home the fact that these cards are mixed crazy, and you really need them to understand that, because whatever your process is for getting the Triumph to happen, if in their mind the deck that they are holding, when it's already been fixed, if they are truly believe that it is still mixed up, that's where you achieve the magic. And you only get that end result if you can set up at the beginning, right? Setup is super important. So you're going to see me probably overprove that the deck is mixed. So the first case is when they actually feel the cards being mixed, right? They're doing the mixing. They can see and feel the cards being mixed in their own hands. Now this is the second time I'm going to prove that the cards are mixed, right? That's all I'm doing here. I want you guys to remember that, right? This chaos that you guys made, right? How am I supposed to do anything with this?
Yeah.
Come on.
Good luck.
All right. So here's what we're gonna do. I want you guys, I'll just show you a little bit. We got face-up cards. So here's a third time. I'm going through again. Look, I'm just gonna show you a little bit. There's face-up cards, face-down cards. Now, this is important for the method, but still, it's another time of just reiterating. At this point, they're probably like, okay, we get it, but it's important that they really do understand this. These ones, we got face down cards, face up, face down, face up. The audio is not great in this video. It was super loud. I had a little mic, a little lapel mic on me, but still it was just getting so much interference. But hey, it's a great video nonetheless. Or do I have the marker. There, we always lose the marker. All right, whoever's gonna pick it, hold on to that because you'll need to sign it, of course. So this is a very good moment, and one of my favorite moments about the Triumph, the way I do it. With the Triumph I am utilizing the cull, right? I'm culling the entire deck, or you could say half the deck, right? I'm going through the full deck, probably culling out roughly 26 cards. I do it in 3 separate phases. I do it once, I do about a third of the cards while I show them that they're mixed. Then I do the second third while they're selecting the card. And then the last little bit is when they're kind of putting the card back, and I do one final little prove it moment that it's mixed. Now in between each of these, I actually close up the deck, square it up, and need to then get back to where I was. So you might be wondering how I do that, but I'll show you here and you can see me do it. And the thing you need to be concerned about is that obviously if you're spreading through the part of the deck you've already done the cull on, then they'll see that it's starting to reorder itself, and you don't want to do that. So what I do is it's either in an off moment. In this case it was a bit of an off moment. I think she was grabbing the pen or whatever, but also I just slightly turn the deck towards me and use the back of my hands to cover the part of the deck they see. So I hold the deck up so they can't see the backs, and then the faces are covered by my hands. And all I'm doing is I'm estimating roughly where I was, so I'm kind of doing like a block push off if I show you here. So obviously if I go like this, they're gonna see. So I kind of push like this with my hands blocking, and then I'm just using this thumb to push off a third. So a third of the cards, roughly what I roughly know how much I've sorted through, I push off, and then I start spreading until I find those where the cards are mixed up again, and then I come back into view. And it only takes about a second, right? So if I just flip some cards over, that's say where I want to get to, and then I know this part's been sorted on top, I need to get to where it changes, right? So what I do, I pick it up, I push, then I find it and I come down. And you can see that, you know, if you watch that back in that moment, you didn't see any of this that's been fixed, right? I just bring it up, and because I do a block push off, I pushed off most of those cards that are already fixed. And then the last little bit, I just push over with my thumb till I find that point, and then I come down into view, right? So that's what I'm gonna utilize several times. And in the second phase, you'll see I actually utilize it with a fan in a different way, but I'll explain that here.
Pick it, hold on to that.
She grabs the marker, and right there I do it, and I find where I need to be.
Wow.
So you can take out any card you want. It can be face up, face down, your choice. All right, you're going through, perfect. Yes.
So you can see here, she's like rushing me. She's pushing through the cards. I'm trying to, you know, keep up with her. And I'm just, you know, kind of playing it cool. I'm just saying, oh, okay, like, hey, you really want to go down there? Just like, hold on, let me catch up, right? I can say something like that, which seems like a funny, playful thing, but it actually just allows me to slow down a little bit, make sure I don't make any mistakes while I'm going through and getting the cards in positions that I need them, right?
One. Yeah, good pick.
Bottom
Good
one.
pick. Good pick. Good pick.
All right, great pick, great pick.
Sign that I do.
Sign it, make it unique to you.
So now I've sorted, say, another third of the deck, 2/3 in total, and I just close up the deck, right? It kind of separates it, right? It separates a call. One, it makes it easier because you only have to do a few cards at a time. You don't have to hold all 26, you know? You're not going through and doing it all at once and holding like, you know, all these huge amount of cards underneath, and you still have to go through and sort and keep going, right? Because you move those to the bottom, and then you just do a few more. So it's great this way. Now this is one of my favorite moments. You see what I'm doing here. I am literally setting up for the next part. I'm not going to get too much into exactly how it works here because this isn't a tutorial, but I'm using this fan and the distraction of them signing the cards to once again set up the deck so it looks very, very mixed and very, very still very face up, face down, right? And they're going to see it exposed and open, this fan, when really the deck is almost completely sorted. If I put it, I don't know, here, it's still easy to follow, but amongst all the chaos, it's a little bit harder, right? The only reason, right? So really, there's only about 3 cards probably that need to be culled until this deck is completely in order. But this technique I use with the fan and all that set up, and then their card also plays into it as well, I can openly show this fan with only like 3 cards that are the wrong way, and it really, really looks like completely mixed. Now that we see it, it's because I left it sticking out. Yeah. Right there again, I did the push-off technique really quick right in front of their face, right? There's a whole, most of the deck is sorted, but I just push off and hide and then come down into view and they don't notice anything. Amongst all the face up, face down, this part is obvious now because it's sticking out. But we lose. You see how, like there, the whole deck is sorted. I culled probably 3 cards really quick, just as I'm showing them one last moment of the chaos. So they truly believe that deck is mixed and chaotic at this moment. Now I'm gonna do the quick, you know, half pass technique. You'll see how I handle that. When I push it in, now we don't know. You guys made all the mess. Could be face up, could be face down. I really don't know. Might be face up like this one, might be face down like this one. Now I need someone's hand. So that's how I do the half pass. I messed up my patter a little bit there. That's why there was that weird pause and I went back into it. But I've actually changed how I do that and I'll show you quickly. So if we have our half pass, I used to go, there might be a card face up like this one and I'd point over here and then I'd come back and rotate the hands and point at this one. And I say, or like this one. And then what would happen is as these hands come back, I'd then take this packet and flip it over and you'd have the deck reorganized, okay? What I realized, it happened once, and again, I don't think it's a huge deal, but it was enough of a deal to make me change it. So what looked like it as a bit of speed was this. So I say your card could be like this one, or it could be like this one. But, and then, you know, so there's that flip. So when you come from here to here, there's that big flip. And people, one time it happened where someone was like, whoa, what was that flip? And then after they were like, I feel like that flip had something to do with it. And it made it feel like you took away a bit of the magic for them because they thought that somehow, even though they couldn't explain it, that flip made the deck correct itself, which I guess it does. So what I do now is the same thing. So I say it could be like this one, and then I rotate the wrists, and I say or like this one. And then instead of flipping this packet back, you're essentially doing a Stuart Gordon double lift with that packet, where you just flip it by sliding the thumb down the face and turning it face up. So as I'm in what position? This position. So I say your card could be face up like this one or it could be face down like this one. Then with this packet, I'm going to Stuart Gordon it, and now they're in the same position. I just place it on top. So instead, what the difference is, instead of doing this, this, and then this, it is now this, this, and place it on top. So there's much less attraction to that sort of flipping motion. Pull out your head. We'll do it together. We'll do it together. And I want you to imagine every card in that deck starting to straighten itself out, right? You guys remember shuffling that. So one thing I love about Triumph, and I think is important, I don't tell them at all. I don't give them any hints about what's gonna happen at the beginning or throughout the trick about the deck fixing. Not until the very last moment when the deck is already in their hands. This does a couple of things. One, it doesn't allow them to start thinking about it and looking for the method prematurely, because they don't know and have any idea where this is going. And I think that's important, and it lets you get many steps ahead. 2, we're now kind of tying back to all those subtle moments of us proving and over-proving that the cards were mixed. All those are now clicking in their head when we say, that deck is mixed, I'm going to make it fix one by one. They now say, that's impossible, I saw it. And all these moments, even subconsciously, just start clicking in their head of what they've seen and what they know to be true in their head, right? And also at this moment, like, you know, I have my hand pinching their hand, as you can see, because I don't want them to lift prematurely, because they might say, oh my god, that's impossible, and lift. I want the magic to feel like it happens when I say or when I snap. So I'm just slightly closing just to make sure they don't open their hands prematurely, and it just sort of build up that moment. I'm still trying to instill in them that right now the deck is mixed, but it's going to start changing.
3, 2, 1. That's some fucked up shit. I'm worried. Bro, no, I'm gonna bro, no. What the fuck? No. Bro. I'm gonna freak out.
So normally I wouldn't do this, but I didn't get the sense from their card handling abilities that would go over very well trying to have them spread. And sometimes you get this awkward moment where someone can't really spread, that they just kind of push through the deck in like a second and they don't really show the cards are mixed, and then they miss their own card. So you get this awkward moment where they go through and they don't see anything face up, and you're like, no, check again, I know it's there, you know. So in this case, I went through it, I was very like hands off, and I just went straight into it and showed them right away, which I think is okay. Probably would have been stronger in their hands, but I made a, you know, the decision on the spot. And they didn't react too much to the cards fixing. I don't think, you know, they were a little, you know, drinking and stuff. I don't think that moment sort of registered as much as it could have, even though I tried and I said, you know, I did my best. But this, you know, the moment they said, oh, if that's the 7 of spades or whatever it was, this is what really gets them. That's just to say, you never really know what's going to get someone, right? To me, the triumph moment's more amazing than this, but to a lot of people, this is more amazing.
Spade? Is that some spade? Oh my god! Oh my god! I gotta go!
Pretty weird, right?
That is so cool!
Take out their phones.
Yeah. Boom, magic, phones are gone. Oh yeah, he just runs away, takes all of our phones, like, see ya!
Yeah. So I hope I built a rapport, because if you don't mind. So this is a technique I use a lot when I need someone who has an iPhone, which, to be honest, is anything I do. Even a lot of the tricks I do could work on Android, but I'm just way more comfortable as an iPhone user that if something were to go wrong, I want to have a phone that I fully understand how to use and know how to use well and can think on my feet and figure out a way to get out of something. So I just say, you know, hey guys, can you all take out your phones for me? And then I just clock who has an iPhone and, you know, pick a person or two and then let them choose who they want to use. Also, I ask permission, you know, if it's a stranger type, you know, can I, you know, use your phone? Do you mind if I use it? And, you know, that's totally reasonable, and I think something you probably should do. In this case, it is iPhone specific, so I needed to make sure there was an iPhone, okay? I'm gonna make now a prediction. And while I do this, I want all of you, every single one of you, to get a song in mind. Any song, let a song come into mind, okay? So here's a good tip. You can see this is a huge group. It might have been like 12. I think they were a soccer team or something. And what I'm doing here is getting everyone involved, even though most of them, it's not even gonna matter, right? Whenever you can do this, I think it's a good thing. It keeps people intrigued, and you don't get that one person who kind of loses out or misses out on feeling like they experienced something. So I'm making a song prediction, so I tell them all to think of a song and imagine sending it to me, maybe hit the beats in their head, whatever. Ultimately, I'm only predicting one song. I'm not predicting all of their songs, but they still get the chance to all feel like they participated. Imagine sing the song. Everyone sing it to me in their heads, in their heads, in their heads. Stupid fireworks. All right, I'm gonna set that down there. There's a song playing right now, okay? Obviously, no one could know what song it is. You guys thought, I predicted a song beforehand.
Yep.
So in order to protect a bit of the method here, like there are sort of performance rights with this effect in terms of what you can post with it. So, you know, I run by most of these performances that I do by Mark, and I, you know, I know what I'm allowed to include and not. So there is, I'll be honest, there is a cut there where something important happens, but nothing that anyone would notice. You know, to them, I guarantee all of these people, if they watch this video back, they wouldn't have even noticed that, and they won't even remember that there was anything that was cut. The effect to them is experienced the exact same way. It's just on video to preserve the method. You know, I don't want anyone to be able to watch that moment back over and over and over again, right? You thought of a song. That's crazy. There's no way. Okay, go ahead. Turn up the volume. Just turn up the volume on your phone. Well, it's not, it wasn't stopped. What the fuck? What the? So, again, this is an amazing effect. It's called Earworm by Mark Kirstein, and I would highly recommend it. One of the best effects I do. But once in a while, there is, you know, and this is a thing that everyone in the community and everyone who knows and this app has dealt with. But once in a while, you know, it's not anything to do with the app. It's just the iPhone. Once in a while, it's on mute, or it's not playing properly, and ideally you get that moment where the phone's turned face down and you just turn up the volume and the song they're thinking of plays, right? That's the brilliance, the beauty of the effect. But sometimes, like what happened here, it wasn't playing. Now, how I handle that is I always want to be the one to turn over the phone. And realistically, I could totally just say, you know what, just turn over the phone and check, and I'm sure everything would be fine. I just like to, as a safeguard, turn it towards me so I can get a peek just to make sure that it did the redirection, if you know what I'm talking about, if you have the app, and it's not showing something it shouldn't. So I just do that, and the second I see that, then I come into full view. So you can see it kind of just happened. I looked, and then I went into view, and it'll probably be every time exactly where it should be, and you just have to hit the play button or turn off the mute to get it to actually start playing, and that's just why you didn't have that moment, right? It happens sometimes, but you can see it doesn't take away from the effect, because they know there's no way that in me flipping the phone, I could have, you know, changed to whatever song they're thinking of, right? And they never even tell me the song. They don't say it out loud either, and that's true. Even with the cut, they never tell me the song. Sometimes I will have them say it out loud, but it totally just depends.
What the hell?
And another tip, like if anything ever goes wrong like that, just say it was an ad. Just say an ad must have came up. That's what I always say. If the song stopped playing, if it's playing the ad, if its volume's off, I just always blame an ad, right? Flies, it's easy excuse. All right, guys, I hope you loved that breakdown. I think this was a really valuable one. We talked about triumph, we talked about earworm, some fantastic mentalism and magic. I hope you guys got a lot of value out of it. Let me know what your favorite effect was from these few that I showed you. As I said, part 2 with the rest of this video breakdown will be coming soon. Stay tuned, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell, all that good stuff. If you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button, drop me a comment. If you guys would like to learn some of this one-on-one from me, if you'd like more of these tips from me one-on-one, if you'd like to learn some of my best material that I've never taught anywhere else, make sure you go to the link, check out my private lessons. There are some deals going on if you want to save some money, and we can talk one-on-one, me and you, learn whatever you want, card magic, mentalism, some absolutely awesome material. But as always, guys, I hope you enjoyed this, and with all that said, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video.